Can stammering be cured completely? And the answer to this question is yes. Stammering can be cured, and that too in some time. And for this, we do not need to take any medication or visit a doctor. Instead, we will need to follow some techniques sincerely and with complete regularity. We all must have seen the pain and struggles of a person who stammers or stutters. The most of the pain is being felt by the family members, friends, and that person himself. We need to understand that freedom from stammering would give that person a new life with complete freedom to express himself. I believe that every person on this earth has a right to experience and live with that freedom. The objective of this interaction is to provide a tool which can release people from the shackles of stammering and inability to express themselves powerfully. Before moving forward, let's understand the meaning of stammering and some data related to it. What is the meaning of stammering? Who are the people who stammers and why that has happened? Let's answer this question. A person who stutters or stammers may struggle with certain words or sounds. They may experience something like blocks in their speech, in which there is a long pause before they are able to say a word. It can be in the form of prolongations, in which certain sounds in a word are extended. It can be the repetition of a word or part of that word. Stammering can have the physical signs such as movements in the face and body as a person attempts to pronounce a word. Body as a whole becomes tensed, which is physically visible. We must have seen people who are trying and struggling very hard to speak a word. Let's understand that why people are getting it. According to Stuttering Foundation, around 70 million people worldwide are affected. Of these, 3 million people live in the United States alone. It means that around 1% of world population struggles with stammering. Males are 4 times more likely to stutter than females, and about 5% of the children will go through a period of stammering. Out of these, around 4% of the kids will get themselves out of this stammering before 5 years of age, while 1% of the kids would carry it forward, and they will keep stammering. They will develop a fear of speaking with some specific words. We need to understand that stammering is not a disease. It is a habit or behavior which has gone deep into the subconscious of a person, and he has developed the fear of few words. Only our objective is to defeat their fear of those words before they start to speak without any problems. Here I will be presenting the techniques which have freed people from stammering or stuttering. So let's look at the solutions. I will be giving you few points, and if you want, you can note them down. We need to understand that the people just want to have fun at the cost of others. This is the truth. Most of them will always look for opportunities to humiliate others. This fact is one of the biggest fear of speaking. If you can win over it, then you can be a great speaker, and it will also help you in other aspects of your life. So win over your hesitation of speaking. Learn to become immune to mocking reactions of people. Once your fear of people goes away, you will experience drastic improvements in your personality and also speaking. Second point, recite poems both in your native language and English aloud. Your speaking volume must be slightly louder than your normal speaking tone for a minimum of 1 hour every day. Internet is a big source to find poems and prose in all languages. Third point, read news articles both in your native language and English for 1 hour every day. You have to read these articles as if you are reading to a news camera and about 200,000 people are watching it. You can find a large number of fresh news articles in all languages on internet. Fourth point, take initiative to participate in public speaking events. Do not leave any speaking opportunity in public. You may find it difficult initially, but with time you will gain confidence, and the more you speak, the more confident you become. Fifth point, person who stammers sometimes lose control over the spoken word. So we need to get control on our words by speaking slowly. Pause, breathe, and then speak that word with complete control. Learn to control your breathing by breathing exercises. I will tell you those breathing exercises. You have to inhale, then you have to pause for some time, and then you have to exhale out. Now, as I say 1, 2, 3, 4, you have to inhale in, and at 1, 2, 3, 4, you have to pause. With 1, 2, 3, 4, you have to breathe out. And the pace will be something like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, you have to breathe in. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, you have to pause. And with 1, 2, 3, 4, you have to breathe out. Now with this exercise, you will have the control over your breathing. And you can do it in the morning, in the afternoon, and before sleeping. The more you do it, the more control you will have over your breathing. And if you can control your breathing, you will be able to have a complete control over your spoken words. 7th point, it is about meditation. You must have all heard about meditation. Now it is about controlling your thoughts and having the complete control over your breathing also. Now, before breathing exercise, you will have to have the control over your thoughts, because many times, if we are not able to control our thoughts, these thoughts confuse us and then we are not able to speak properly. And the concept of meditation is not that difficult. It's about throwing all the thoughts from your mind and keeping your mind as hollow. It should be completely out of your thought process. Now for that, you will have to sit down in a very relaxed position. You have to have a peaceful place because you should not be having a lot of noises. And then you have to close your eyes because I want that you should be having least number of senses activated at that point of time. Now, so if you cannot see and if you cannot hear the external voices, then you will have the two most important senses and they're closed at that point of time. And then you have to focus on your breathing, that how you are breathing in and how you are pausing for some time and then how you are breathing out. And as you focus on your breathing, all the thoughts will slowly go out of your mind. Now, it may take few weeks or it may take few months. And in some cases, people have taken few years to have a complete control over their thought process. But if you keep trying, you will have a complete control over your mind. Once you have the command over that meditative process, you have the power to throw out all the thoughts from your mind. Then it's going to help you in speaking, also in your life, a lot of other activities. You will be able to have a complete control over them. Now the 8th point is get more light in your mind. I have talked about the light in mind previously in one of my videos. You can check it out. But the concept of light in mind is that our mind is like a long dark gallery and it has doors on both the sides. Now each door is a door of knowledge. Now if you can open that door, you will get a lot of light and also fresh air, which will give you freshness. And more doors you open, more light you will have in your mind. Now for example, if you are speaking in front of your class or you're speaking in front of very experienced people, your seniors, you may have that feeling of stuttering. You will be having that fear of speaking. But if you are speaking in front of class 1st or class 2nd students, then I'm very sure that you will be able to speak very confidently. You will not be having any difficulty in speaking. So that means that in comparison to those small kids, you have more light in your mind. And that's the reason you have that confidence. So it means that if you have more light in your mind, you will have more control over your thought process and you will have more confidence in front of others. And that confidence is the key to defeat stammering. So have more light in your mind. The more light and better you will be able to speak. Now 9th point, avoid speaking words which you do not have the complete confidence yet. You should give them some time and they will come back to you. If possible, use rhythm to speak them. For example, if you are unable to speak the word mammoth, then you can speak it, for example, moth and mammoth. So they are in rhythm. Maybe you will be able to speak moth properly and then you can speak mammoth. Most of the time, the difficulty is to speak the first character of the word or a phrase. So the best way is to avoid speaking that specific character or letter. For example, if you have the difficulty in speaking mammoth, as letter M is creating difficulty, then you should speak only amoth. Mammoth, amoth, while avoiding M in the word. You should not worry, as your listeners will hear the right word. Their mind will automatically fill that gap. 10th point. Visualize yourself being a great public speaker. Visualize that you are speaking to a huge crowd and mesmerizing them with your speech. This is a great confidence booster. 11th point. Synchronize your body with your speaking and use it to speak smoothly. Body as a whole becomes stressed, so relax it while speaking. Practice speaking in different body positions like standing, sitting, walking, jogging, and even lying on bed. I want that all those 1% people in the world who stammers should see the new word in which they are speaking confidently and without any hesitation or fear. And that would be a great achievement for them and me too. All the best.